fight. I don't want to overreact and say this guy should be suspended, this guy has a history. You know what I do care about is that the Detroit Pistons are back. You know what I do care about is that they're the biggest surprise in this NBA season. Also, on top of that, they have embodied the culture of the Pistons, right? You think about Isaiah Thomas, Joe Dumars, Bill Laimbeer. What was those guys? Yeah. The bad boys Pistons. Yeah. Hard fouling, fighting, scrapping, whatever, you name it, right? You move on to Chauncey Billups, Rasheed Wallace, Ben Wallace. Those guys would get in your face, instigators, not retaliators. And now we're watching this Detroit Pistons team led by a young superstar in Cade Cunningham that is about their life. Yeah. And I love it. And I love how Bickerstaff addressed that in the post-game interview, saying this is basically the standard. This is our culture, and I love it. It's great for basketball, but it's also great for the Detroit fan base who have been miserable. And the city.
Yeah, they embody the city as well.
Who have been miserable over the past couple of years.
Yeah, they're climbing in the rankings,
I'll deal with Perk in a second. Shannon, go ahead, man. Let you chime in first. Go ahead, Shannon.
Well, I don't know if the commissioners are excited about that. And the one thing you don't want to kind of spill a little bit into the sidelines, Perk. I think that's the thing that the commissioner is concerned about, is that it getting into the fans and somebody from the fans getting injured in a situation like that. But you know the Detroit Pistons. And when I heard about the fight, I said, let me see what's going on, because I knew Isaiah Stewart was in it. I mean, hey, Stu Beef, he looking to beef for somebody. He's looking because he's their enforcer. He's not going to take anything. Javon Holland and DiVincenzo, they had been going back and forth, Perk, and you can see this brewing. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know if they're going to end the game without a tussle going on. Somebody's going to tussle, because it seemed like every basket seemed like everybody had something to say. Everybody, get your hands off me. My hands ain't on you. Don't touch me. I'm going to touch you. I'm going to do what I want to do. And so it kind of came to a crescendo, and this had to happen. I think cooler heads prevailed. They separated them. I was surprised to see the coaches going at it. J.P. Bickerstaff, he ended up getting tossed out of the game. Pablo Prigioni, he got tossed out of the game. I'm like, well, damn, the coaches battling like, squabbing like that too. But look, as long as we can keep it, there are no punches thrown. There's, it's big dust up. Nobody wants to lose a large chunk of their salary by throwing a punch. It was a lot of pushing, a lot of wrestling. Everybody knows in a situation like that, Perk, somebody's going to grab them. Hey, don't grab me, don't hold me. Yeah, hey, grab. Hey, I'm going to pretend like I want to do something, but I really don't want to do anything. Y'all grab me and make sure nothing pops off. But look, I didn't really have a whole lot of problem with it. I just think the thing is the commissioner might have a problem with some of it spilling into the stand.
Shannon's right about that part. Here's the part that I want to say to you, Perk. You're not wrong with what you're saying. You're wrong for advertising it. Because when you say what you just said, and you're talking about, and you're reminding the world of the bad boy Pistons, when did all of these rule changes one by one over the years get implemented? When the bad boy Pistons were playing Chicago in the playoffs. Because that level of physicality is exactly what the NBA wanted to get away from. I like it. I believe that there's a place for it. Listen, people need to stop getting free passes. I like the physicality. I like the fervor. I totally 1,000% agree with you with them damn jersey swaps and all this, hugging one another, singing kumbaya with one another. Nah, I want you going at it. I want you disliking one another. I want you elevating and heightening your level of vitriol so you want to go at somebody even more so. The flip side to that, however, is that you don't want to find yourself in a situation where you are publicly talking about, listen, like the bad boy Pistons, yeah, represent that. It was 12 technical fouls called yesterday. The most since 2005, 12 technical fouls in one game. If that kind of stuff happens, then you'll see the NBA doing more of what we don't want them to do, which is bringing a heavy hand down upon the players.
Let me get in here.
We don't want that.
Because this brings up something to me. I feel like we can't have it both ways, and this isn't fair to the NBA and the NBA players. Because I remember when we had PK Subban on the show after that USA-Canada, they're fighting. It's so great. NBA players, they make too much money. They don't care. They don't come to play. And now we're seeing the passion. We're seeing the energy. The stakes are high. We're seeing the intensity. And now we don't like it. No, I'm saying, what do we want?
No one said don't like it. What we're saying is that Gary Bettman and the National Hockey League run their league the way that they do. Rob Manfred and Major League Baseball run their league the way that they run the league. You have the culture in those sports. Do I like it? Black man. We know that black athletes are predominant in the NBA and the NFL. That's not necessarily the case in Major League Baseball and the National Hockey League. So we see the discrepancy. We don't like it. We've spoken about it on many, many occasions in the past. But in the end, if you have a league and a league office that's going to mandate this is what we're going to penalize, I'm saying when you highlight the Detroit Pistons and you remind everybody of the Bad Boys, who we love, with 2-time champions, one of the great franchises, we all get that, and has been underappreciated as far as I'm concerned on too many occasions over the years. Yeah, you don't want nobody pushing you around, whatever. Right. I'm just simply saying you got to be mindful.
I'm just saying, were you not entertained?
Hell yeah, I was entertained. And let me ask you a question.
Sure.
Who's part of the top dogs in the league office?
Joe Dumars.
Okay, part of the Bad Boys.
Yes.
Right. So this is good for the game, Stephen.
What do you think he's going to do?
We look, huh?
What do you think he's going to do?
Did
you just come on national television on Get Up a little while ago and you said, I really, really hope that nobody gets suspended for 6 or 7 games? Did you say that?
I said I don't think so. I don't want us to overreact to
yes.
it.
I'm saying I agree, but you're scared they will. That's my point.
Listen, here's the thing. You know, we could possibly see Detroit and Indiana in the first round.
I'm going to love it.
Why?
Because they're the 4 or 5 right now.
No, yeah. Why you love it?
Because Detroit can play and Indiana can
not
play.
Just because of that. They got beef.
Okay.
They had an altercation this season. They don't like one another. Okay. So guess what? I'm going to be looking forward to watching that playoff series. I'm not saying go out there and throw punches, but what I'm saying is let's ruffle the feathers a little bit. Let's make the game physical. That's why we've been seeing of late, the refs haven't been calling a lot of fouls. You see a lot of guys complaining. That's the thing that this game is missing. That's what separates overseas from the NBA. And one thing we know about Adam Silver is that he's looking to improve the league. And I think improving the league is letting some of the physicality come back into the league. I
agree with you. I'm just saying be careful about advertising it because that might make the league overreact to something we don't want them to overreact.
But then we're advertising that they don't show up, they don't care, they don't play, the games are boring, it's all threes. So it's like, go ahead, Shannon.
I don't believe the problem that I have with you two guys that I don't believe those things are mutually exclusive. I don't believe you have to push and shove to be physical. Because I think the thing is, you go back and look at the Warriors and the Cavaliers, that was great basketball. And it wasn't a whole lot of pushing and shoving. Outside of that incident, they played through 3 straight finals. Outside of the Draymond situation, was that not great basketball? Of course it was. Look, I'm old enough to remember the late 70s and the early 80s when the fighting, they're not going back there. No matter how much fans say they want it, the fans didn't want it because the game took off when they cleaned it up. Adam Silver is not going to, he's not going to like this. He's saying if the ratings have to come back because they're fighting, well, damn the ratings. That's not going to happen, guys. So we can sit here and wishful think and say, I like this and I like that. They're not. In hockey, that is the culture of hockey. Guys drop, before they even puck is dropped, Stephen, that we've seen guys drop their gloves and like just look it out and you see the goalie slide down and say, hey, you want some of this? Yeah, I want some of this too. But this is not conducive in football. This is not conducive in basketball, guys. It's 2 separate issues. Hockey has a culture. Basketball used to have a culture, but it's kind of cleaned it up because the fans said that wasn't what they wanted. I believe Adam Silver, I don't think he's going to go overboard, but I can see a 3 or 4 game suspension for a couple of these guys.